Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into a story that feels like it has been ripped straight from a blockbuster movie, but it's a chillingly real account from the heart of the Indonesian rainforest. This is the story of a giant python, a creature so immense it didn't just threaten lives, it devoured the very courage of an entire tribe. Imagine living in a world where the rustle of leaves could be your last warning, where ancient legends walk the earth. For the tribes of Sulawesi, this isn't fantasy. The rainforest is their home, their provider, but it's also the domain of predators unlike any other. They've coexisted with these dangers for centuries, developing a deep respect and a healthy fear for the jungle's power. Their folklore is filled with tales of colossal serpents, stories whispered around the fire to teach the younger generations about the delicate balance between humanity and nature. These weren't just bedtime stories. They were survival guides, lessons paid for in blood over countless generations. The python in their culture is a symbol of both creation and destruction, a powerful spirit of the earth that demands respect. But no legend, no whispered tale, could have prepared them for the reality they were about to face. Our story begins in a small, remote village, a place where the modern world is just a distant rumor. Life here moves to the rhythm of the sun and the seasons. One evening, as twilight painted the sky in shades of orange and purple, a man named Akbar set out from his home. He was a familiar and beloved figure in the community, a young father known for his hard work harvesting palm oil. His family waited for his return, the familiar sounds of the village settling down for the night a comforting backdrop. But as the hours stretched on and the jungle's nightly chorus grew louder, a knot of anxiety began to tighten in their chests. Akbar was never late. He knew the jungle like the back of his hand. His absence was a silent scream in the tranquil night. When dawn broke and Akbar still hadn't returned, the village's quiet concern erupted into full-blown panic. A search party was immediately organized. Men, armed with machetes and fueled by a desperate hope, fanned out into the dense palm plantation behind Akbar's home. They called his name, their voices swallowed by the thick, humid air. The search was methodical, every path checked, every shadow questioned. They found his harvesting tools, lying abandoned, single-dropped fruit. But of Akbar, there was no sign. It was as if the jungle itself had opened up and swallowed him whole. The fear was no longer just about a missing person. It was about the unknown, a chilling premonition that something ancient and terrible had awoken. The search continued, growing more frantic with each passing moment. Then, one of the villagers spotted it. Something was wrong. Deep within the plantation, there was a shape that didn't belong, a colossal, bloated form, unnaturally still amidst the trees. As they drew closer, their hope turned to sheer horror. It was a reticulated python, a monster of a snake, over 23 feet long. Its body was grotesquely swollen, distended by a massive man-sized object. The villagers froze, a collective gasp catching in their throats. In that single, terrifying moment they knew Akbar was. The legends were no longer just stories. The nightmare was real, lying motionless right in front of them. The courage it took to face that beast is hard to fathom. With heavy hearts and trembling hands, the villagers had to make a decision. They needed to know for certain. Using a long hunting knife, they carefully sliced open the python's massive belly. The scene that unfolded was one of pure, undiluted horror. Inside the serpent, they found Akbar's body, whole and intact. The jungle had not swallowed him. This monstrous creature had. The discovery sent a shockwave of grief and terror through the entire community. The whispers of the elders, the ancient warnings about the great serpents, had come to life in the most gruesome way imaginable. The world they knew had been irrevocably shattered. News of the event spread like wildfire, not just through the nearby villages, but across the globe. For the outside world, it was a sensational, almost unbelievable story, a headline that read like a monster movie plot. But for the people who lived it, it was a profound trauma. The python wasn't just a random animal. It became a symbol of a primordial terror. The incident didn't just take a man's life, it took the tribe's sense of security. The jungle, which had always been their provider, now felt like a constant lurking threat. Every shadow seemed to move, every rustle of leaves sounded like a slithering predator. Children were kept indoors, and adults wouldn't dare venture out alone. The psychological toll was immense. The python had devoured more than a man. It had devoured their courage. This wasn't an isolated incident. Across Southeast Asia, tales of encounters with giant pythons, though rare, serve as a stark reminder of the raw power of nature. Just a year later, similar tragedy struck when a woman named Wa Tiba was also found inside a giant python on a neighboring island. These events highlight a growing conflict. As human populations expand, we encroach further into habitats that have belonged to these apex predators for millennia. We clear forests for agriculture, like the palm plantations where Akbar and Wa Tiba met their fates. This habitat loss forces animals into closer and more frequent contact with humans, creating a recipe for tragedy on both sides. These pythons aren't malicious monsters. They're wild animals, hunting to survive in a world that is rapidly shrinking around them. The story of the giant python is a powerful, humbling lesson. It forces us to confront our own vulnerability and to re-examine our relationship with the natural world. We may have built cities and conquered skies, but in the deepest parts of the wild, we are not always at the top of the food chain. This tale isn't just about a snake. It's about the consequences of our actions, about the delicate balance we so often disrupt. It's a call for respect, for a deeper understanding of the creatures with whom we share this planet. The tribe's courage may have been shaken, but their story gives us a new kind of wisdom, the wisdom to coexist, to conserve, and to remember that the legends of the wild are rooted in a powerful and undeniable truth. Thank you for joining me on this incredible journey today. It's a sobering story, but one that I think we can all learn from. If you found this content compelling, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the mysteries and wonders of our world. And as always, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Stay curious, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next video.